tea, a cultural mainstay of Japan for centuries, is emblematic of the nation's history, ethos, and artistry. The inception of milk tea in the country wasn't an overnight phenomenon. Instead, it unfolded gradually. Considering tea's revered position in Japanese culture, integrating milk was nothing short of a bold step. This marked deviation from traditional practices wasn't just a testament to Japan's adaptive spirit. Some say the journey from regular tea to the robust royal milk tea encapsulates the rich tapestry of Japan's continuously evolving culinary arts. Join me as I set out to make 4 popular milk teas that can commonly be found in Japan and throughout the US. Alright, the first milk tea we're going to be making is the royal milk tea. I was reading, I was like, the Darjeeling milk tea. No, the royal milk tea, which is a blend of 2 different teas. It is a blend of the Assam and a blend of the Darjeeling. We're going to be making it with whole milk, and we're going to be sweetening it with caramel, so it'll be a caramel milk tea. The reason why I am using Hershey's Sunday Dream caramel is because when I was in Japan last year, I got this caramel milk tea and it was the most delicious thing. And then following this recipe, it tasted just like it. So we're gonna be doing that again right now. Next, we're going to be trying something I have not tried before, so I'm very excited but nervous at the same time. It is going to be Hojicha, which is roasted green tea. If you go to Japan or you're well versed in Japanese snacks, you will know that it is actually very popular to find Hojicha. Kit Kats have their own flavor. You'll find like desserts, cakes, mousses that are all flavored with this. And so when I was doing my research on different types of milk teas that are popular in Japan, it was no surprise to me that this one popped up besides just regular milk tea and or royal milk tea. And of course, we can't forget matcha milk tea or just a matcha latte. We're gonna be doing it over ice, so it'll be an iced matcha latte. But look how beautiful this green is. I opened it up, looked at it, was just like, this is beautiful. If you could be here and just smell it, the smell of matcha is just so comforting. I love a matcha latte, matcha milk tea, matcha anything really. I'm a big sucker. I see something matcha, I'm like, got it, give it here, thank you. So we'll be doing this next. Let's go. When it comes to matcha and making a matcha iced latte, it's a bit different than the method for the Hojicha and the regular royal milk tea. To do the matcha milk tea, latte, etc., there are a few different steps than the previous methods where the Hojicha and the black tea were on the stove. This one's a little different. What you'll need is a kettle. I have an electric kettle, and so I have, if you could see the steam's coming up. It's already done. You'll need, this isn't necessary, it's just something I have, and it is a cup to put the matcha in. Usually these types of cups are these cups for matcha, and it's because they have this whisk, and you use these whisks to stir the matcha into the boiling water until it dissolves, and these cups are big enough to fit in that. Another utensil I have, which is not necessary because what this recipe takes is 2 teaspoons of the matcha powder. This is also used in like a traditional matcha tea ceremony, and it's just this little scoop, and you pick up the matcha, and with it and you dump it in. We'll see if I even use this because I don't trust myself. And so the final one's a little bit different. Can it be qualified as a milk tea? Well, if you go to milk tea places here in the US, you'll find it under the milk tea section, and that is Taro Milk Tea. It is one of my favorite ones to get. I typically always go for Taro. I'll go for the Thai milk tea if I'm getting boba, or sometimes I just get it without the boba. It's delicious. But I have seen like Taro lattes and like bottled drinks and stuff more at the supermarkets I go to, H Mart. There is a small Japanese market near me that I go to frequently, and they have some Taro things as well. And Taro's just delicious. It's so yummy. So when I was sitting there thinking, do I just do the 3? I was like, no, you know, it would be fun. Let's try to do a Taro milk tea. When I was opening this up, I thought it was really funny because it has usage and instructions. And I was like, usage and okay. And the first thing, now like, let's fact check this, but it was just so interesting and funny and amusing to me to see on the packaging, was Taro can alleviate psychological pressure, make people feel happy. That's not even it. I auto-corrected. Make people feel happy. Taro is rich in vitamin A, which keeps healthy of our skin and hair. Taro also contains almost all kinds of vitamin and mineral, substance, and fiber. It is the best fruit for weight losing. Used for beverage, milk, ice cream, pudding, or other desserts. Used for snack seasoning, sauces, condiments, and baking food. I just thought that was so funny. It's soluble in hot water. Well, we're going to be doing milk, I think. I think we're gonna be doing milk. We'll see how this goes. But I'm excited. I'm excited to have this, and if it's good, to just keep having it, because then I don't have to go to the store or to like a boba tea place or a milk tea or whatever to get Taro lattes. Let's go. Now it's time to test all the milk teas and see how good they are. First up are royal milk tea with caramel. I know initially it was not iced, but then I wanted the uniformity of them all being iced drinks, so I added ice to it. Yes. Yep. It could use a little bit more caramel. I guess I didn't put enough in, but it's still nice and sweet. It's not like over sweet. It's not like super bitter. This is a very good, very decent milk tea. Next up is the Hojicha Milk Tea, which is much lighter than the like royal milk tea. Very interesting. Well, I guess that makes sense. This is green tea and this is black tea. Never mind. I forgot it was green tea for some reason. I think it's when I was putting it into the pot, for whatever reason my brain went black tea. It's roasted green tea. Let's give it a taste. My dog's right here, like me. Okay. Ooh. That's so interesting. I put a liquid sweetener into it, like artificial, like calorie-free sweetener. to give it a little bit of sweetness so it wasn't completely bitter, but like that roasted green tea really hits you. Yeah, it's a lot more bitter than the royal milk tea, but it's good at the same time. Like if you're drinking milk tea for like the sweetness, probably won't like it, but I really liked it, actually. I'm gonna have to make more of that now. Third up is the matcha. You can see it's in a completely different cup, but it has little ghosties on it. Oh my gosh, that is so good. I usually use the Itoen sweet matcha powder if I want like a quick matcha latte of some sort, because it's just so convenient because you just mix it with water and milk. And so it's a lot less steps, but this is delicious, and you can definitely tell the difference between like a pre-packaged matcha latte versus something we kind of made homemade. I put regular sugar in this. This one I put the artificial one in. I tried to do something a little different for all of them so they weren't entirely the same and it wasn't boring. Like royal milk tea sweetened with caramel. This was sweetened with actual just sugar. And this is sweetened with the artificial sweetener, which is probably why it has a little bit of a different taste, because it's not sugar, but it's still delicious, it's still good. And then last but not least is the Taro Milk Tea, and I now know why it's still considered milk tea. I was a little dumb at the beginning of the video, but have learned they put green tea in it sometimes, not all the times, but I put green tea into it, so it does make it a milk tea of sorts. I love the purple. I hope it kind of like comes up a little bit better. It wasn't in some of the other shots, but I was like, maybe once we're here in front of the light and everything, we'll get it. Cheers. Yes. Oh my gosh. This tastes exactly like it. I love taro. I love that like nuttiness you get from the taro. Almost like a fruitiness too. It kind of reminds me of Captain Crunch. Is that silly? I feel like that's super silly. It's so good. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy too because it wasn't difficult. The one thing, okay, besides me being like, oh, there's green tea in it, the recipe called for sweetened condensed milk. I did not have sweetened condensed milk because I wasn't prepared to need it. So I homemade sweetened condensed milk, and maybe that is another reason why it's so yummy. Homemade. Choosing a favorite, they're all so good for their own reasons. Like, soft spot always for just the royal milk tea, but like the taro milk tea is just a nice little sweet treat. Matcha, always a classic as well, but like the roasted green tea, the roasted milk tea, the roasted green tea milk tea, that's just a lot of words. It was actually pretty good. I can't drink all of these. I'm gonna have to save them for like later, today and tomorrow, maybe even the day after, because oh my gosh, this is so much liquid. A lot of sugar and a lot of milk too, but oh, they're all so good.